Brainer MMA. We're back here again. Finally, we got a good card with a decent main event. Holy shit.
It's been a couple.
Last been fucking awful.
No, that last week's main event was so bad. It was almost like funny.
I mean, if you go back to like the past few main events, they've been fucking terrible. What was it? It was Aspen Ladd versus Dumont, which had some controversy, but that Dern versus Rodriguez, that actually wasn't a bad fight. Santos versus Walker was fucking god awful.
That was bad. And then actually the Volkanovski Ortega was sick.
Yeah.
That was only 3 weeks ago. That's the last 4 weeks. And I did the math. I'm keeping like my percentage correct in my Twitter bio now. So like just like threw that shit in there. 75% over the last 4 weeks.
That's great.
Yeah. All right, let's get right into this.
First fight of the night, Linvinia Souza versus Miranda Marcos.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, you want me to take it away?
Yeah, go for it, bro.
All right, yeah, you got Miranda Marcos. I know her record's 10-11, but she's been around for forever, it seems like, and she's fought like some of the best out there, you know. Carlos
has fought the best for sure.
Karolina Kowalkiewicz when she was, you know, one of the best. She's fought Rose, albeit that was a Ultimate Fighter fight. She's fought Marina Rodriguez, Angela Hill, Claudia Gadelha, Ashley Yoder, Amanda Ribas, Mackenzie Dern. Like it happens,
dude. That's everyone. that's about everyone.
Yeah. Alexa Grasso back when she was fighting at strawweight. But yeah, she's just shown that she's TriStar athlete. She's just all around decent, you know.
Yeah.
You know, jack of all trades, master of none type deal.
I like that.
And then you got Linvinia Souza, 14-3 MMA record. She's been quietly in the UFC since 2018. You guys probably haven't heard about her much. She got knocked out by Amanda Lemos in her last fight. It was like she got knocked out by like a jab. Like a
power jab. That's what they're calling it, a power jab. It's just a jab, but it was just like very powerful.
I mean, if you step in jab, obviously,
that's
like
true. That's different. I just think it's funny, power jab.
Yeah. This fight's quite simply. I'll get my gross fight at. Actually,
no, you're gonna save that for some guy named Ike Villanueva.
Yeah, because anytime he fights, it is gross. But yeah, I'm gonna. This fight's honestly a toss-up. I'm gonna take Miranda Marcos as the slight underdog. They're both, I don't think, very high level. Actually, scratch that. I'm taking Souza as the slight favorite because they're both not very high level. But Souza does have a win over Ashley Yoder, and she has been competing in the UFC for a little bit and has gotten finishes.
Ashley Yoder sucks.
What?
Ashley Yoder sucks.
Ashley Yoder does suck, but she did choke out Alex Chambers in her UFC debut. She lost a split decision to Angela Hill back when she wasn't that good. She's beaten Deanna Bennett, who's actually a pretty solid fighter. And she stopped her with a TKO. So I'm going to take her slightly over Miranda Marcos, but I wouldn't be surprised if either one pulls it out. Either way, I think it goes to decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you on this first one. Souza 3-2 in her last 5, coming off that KO loss from Amanda Lemos, like Dan said. She lands that fight. I mean, she landed one significant. She just got beat up bad. Landed one significant strike to like 19, and then was knocked down twice. Yeah, she was just beat up pretty good.
Yeah,
minus 1.3 striking differential. She does land 2.4 takedowns per fight at 44% accuracy. I haven't really been impressed by her so far, like in the UFC. And I don't know if I really do see much of a future.
But do you see much of a future for Anna Marcos?
Well, depending on this fight right here. She's taking on Randa Marcos, who's on that 4-fight losing skid. We have seen people break 3 and 4 fight losing skids this year, like this past year. So it's not like out of the realm of possibility. You know what I mean? She's got a minus 0.4 striking differential, 1.2 takedowns at 52% takedown defense, which is just like whatever.
I just think she's washed.
She has the experience. She's faced a far better competition, like you said, Dan.
The best of the best.
But this fight is very close. So I'm not gonna bet on this first one.
Yeah, stay away from.
But I'm gonna go out on a
over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb though and say that Marcos ends that 4-fight losing skid. That's tough. 4 fight, like you can't lose one more fight.
She's cut after that.
We're done.
10 and 12, she would be. I mean, she's already 10, 11, and 1. Like, that's not a great record.
No.
She lost her last fight to DQ, but still.
You got to look at all those, like, chicks that she fought at the best. You can't blame her at all.
Like, yeah.
Your career is starting.
Apparently, Kavitz fought for the title. Alexa Grasso is now making strides in the 125-pound division.
Marina Rodriguez draw.
Marina Rodriguez is in title contention.
And they draw. That was a draw, I think, right? That was yeah. So
you know what? Fuck it. I'm flipping my pick. Randa Marcos, go out there and get that fucking W. I want her to win.
That's fucking sick. We're both.
I went against my fucking brain. I'm going with the heart.
Dan Marcos. He went Souza. He went back to Marcos. We're both agreeing. We're going Randa Marcos. We're going to move right into the next one. Jeff Molina.
Not a good one, though. Not a good.
Don't bet on it now, though. Are you fucking kidding me? That's crazy. Right into the next one. Jeff Molina, Daniel Lacerda. Jeff Molina is one of like the weirdest looking dudes I've ever seen in my entire life. He's just like weird. He looks like a worm. He's like all over the place. It's so funny. 2-0, but he's fucking sick. 2-0 under the UFC umbrella, coming off a crazy unanimous decision win versus Aori Quayling in a fight where he got 2 knockdowns, 190 significant strikes landed.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of that kid.
Shit out of him. He fights out of Glory MMA with my favorite cornerman of all time, James Krause. Wins mostly by submission, but has some great like high volume striking, not necessarily power, but like, you know, out points, just lands on you.
Yeah.
He's taking on Daniel Lacerda, making his UFC debut. 11-1 record, 4-1 in his last 5. But if you look at the level of competition, it's low. No one really notable, like in my opinion.
He has looked good though. He has an all-around game.
He's looked great. He's finished all 11 fights, 5 by KO, 6 by sub. Decent fighter, definitely. But I don't know if he's ready for it just yet. You know, it's a tough UFC debut against Jeff Molina in this one. So I'm gonna actually go with Jeff Molina.
So am I. I'm gonna draw a parallel, but I'm not necessarily putting Lacerda on his level. I remember when Manel Kopp came to the UFC, I had a lot of hype on him, but that was mostly due to a lot of his fight experience outside of the UFC. He was fighting in top regional promotion, not even regional promotions. He was fighting for the UFC's primary competitors.
Yeah.
And he was winning championships. He got off to a slow start in the UFC and then finally got into that win column. I think Lacerda is going to hit that, you know, he's going to get that adrenaline dump in his first UFC fight. I think there's a lot more of him to come, but there's still not enough of his ability gauged on, you know, like a high level fighter for me to pick him. I think Molina is the safe bet in this fight. UD.
Yeah, flyweights. Jeff Molina is not a big guy, but he's good, man. He's really.
He'll hit you as hard as he can.
Over 2 fights, he's looked great.
Yeah, can't disagree.
Yeah, so we're both going Jeff Molina in this one. We're going to move right into the next one. Khama Worthy versus Jai Herbert.
All right, this one is interesting because Khama Worthy, I think very highly of him. It's just that his chin is so iffy. He has wins over Devontae Smith, Luis Pena.
Just got arrested.
That's about it of the name brand guys you would know. He's fought Billy Quarantillo before back in 2015. Of course, he got knocked out in that fight too. He's taking on Jai Herbert, who lost his UFC debut to Francisco Trinaldo. I was pretty big on Jai Herbert going into that fight because I saw all of his Cage Warriors fights. I was like, this guy's going to be a fucking killer.
Dude, he had such hype coming into the UFC, didn't he?
Yeah, like at least he was high. He was on my radar, you know.
Me too. Yeah, like he was someone to look out for.
Yeah, and then he had that fight against Renato Moicano, and you know that just wasn't even.
Moicano is a stud.
It wasn't even close. Moicano just took him down five times, 6 times, or something like that. Subbed him, you know.
Yeah.
But this fight should be a stand-up. It should be a stand-up fight. I'm gonna go Khama worthy. He's a slight underdog. But his chin is so fucking iffy that I just don't know.
Yeah, but is Herbert's chin any better?
That's true. I mean, he
Francisco
that stoppage in that Trinaldo fight was one that got Dan Hardy fired.
Yeah. That's so that was the one that got Dan Hardy fired? Turned out Dan Hardy was just like a total fucking douchebag though.
Wasn't he?
I don't know. After that, he just like basically went totally 100% against the UFC, and it's just been like an advocate against them. Like, dude, you were just sucking their ass like 6 months ago.
Yeah, he was trying to be a company man. I'm gonna take Khama worthy again. Like, I like the Molina pick so far, but out of these three, out of the Souza fight and this fight, I'm iffy on this one as well.
Dude, yeah, these like the matchmaker on this is just
does not go the distance. That's what I would bet on this. I'm confident in that.
Smart, but I'm gonna start with Jai Herbert, 0-2 in the UFC. Both losses coming by finishes, KO by Trinaldo and a sub by Moicano. Very good competition. Tough way to start off your UFC.
Trinaldo's like 41 though.
Yeah, but he's like
he still got it.
He still got it somehow. He's a striker, 8 out of his 10 wins by KO TKO. Striking hasn't looked great yet in the UFC though. And he's had trouble stopping takedowns. He's been taken out 2 times and 5 times. He'll be taken on.
He should go out and take him down. That's actually a smart game plan for Khama Worthy because he's so fucking chinny.
And he's looking for a win right now, so that might be his game plan.
Both of these guys desperately need a win. I think loser gets cut.
I would agree with that. Khama Worthy riding that 2-fight losing streak, like I just said, both by first round KOs. Tough competition though. Atman Izatar and Jamie Malarkey, who's just beating everyone now.
Hey, knocked out Devontae Smith.
I know, he's just fucking killing it, dude. Who would have guessed?
He didn't knock him out he TKO'd him.
Okay, same thing, close enough. He also wins mostly by KO TKO. I see a finish in this fight, like you said, Dan. I'm confident in that. But I'm gonna go Khama. What'd you say?
It could really go either way. Like either of them are finishable.
Yeah. Did you say Khama Worthy?
Yeah, I said Khama Worthy.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna agree with you, Dan. I'm gonna go Khama Worthy in this one too.
We both got a dog.
I don't think this is like the least. Like you should not even place any money on this. Like 50-50 odds, basically. You know, that's what we're.
It's like whoever's chin gets hit the hardest.
Yeah. You never know with these two. Very tough. But we're going to agree on that one. We're both going Khama Worthy. We're going to move right into the next one. Leonardo Staropoli versus Jamie Pickett. We did this one.
Sure.
Yeah, we did this. This is I think someone got COVID
recently.
Yeah, someone got COVID a couple of weeks ago. But Jamie Pickett, 2-3 in his last 5, 1-4 under the UFC umbrella. Wins mostly by KO TKO. 8 out of his 11 wins being knockouts. He has a very poor striking differential for a guy that strikes though, -2.4. Also 1.4 takedowns at 40% accuracy and only 37% takedown defense.
I think a lot of that striking differential is on the ground, though. He is getting beat up
That's
on the
fair.
ground.
That's fair. And his chin is also questionable. He's been knocked down in his last 2 fights. He's taken on Leonardo Staropoli.
Laureano, I'd say.
Laureano, yeah. On a 3-fight losing skid, although over some pretty tough competition. Roman Dolidze, the Dirty
Which was a
Bird,
close fight.
and Muslim Salikov. Losing all by unanimous decision too. Like, he's not being finished, so he's a tough dude. Wins mostly by KO, TKO, but he'll be at a 9-inch reach disadvantage. But Pickett lost to Punahele Soriano, Charles Bird. They were very similar reaches.
Jamie Pickett's just got a tremendous fucking reach.
Yeah, that's the only thing I think he's got going for him. So I'm actually gonna go with Staropoli in this.
Yeah, so am I. We covered this in a past video, so I want to be just quick and to the point. Basically hitting every point that you had hit. I think Starpoli got this.
Totally agree, dude. Now we're going with we're both going with the Laureano. What was I saying? Laureano. I don't even know what the fuck I was saying. Staropoli. We're gonna move right into the next one. Tabitha Ritchie versus Maria Oliveira.
Yeah, so the only thing we've seen in the UFC from Tabitha Ritchie is getting TKO by Manon Fiorot, but we just saw Manon Fiorot just put on an absolute clinic last week. So,
and she's sick.
Yeah, she's fucking sick.
Yeah.
So, and she's fighting Maria Oliveira, who is making her official UFC debut. She's fought in Ryzen in the past, and she has fought on the Contender Series where she did get finished by Marina Rodriguez, but that is aged well in her. It's aged well for her, you know?
For sure.
Looking at the odds in this fight, where are they? I can't even fucking find. Where the fuck are the odds?
You can't find odds, bro? Oh no, dude, this got taken yesterday. That's why. There are no odds yet.
Okay, so yeah, Oliveira is taking this on no notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was able to watch, I watched back her fight against Marina Rodriguez. She's a capable fighter. She's not bad, but taking the fight on very short notice is worrisome. But Tabitha Ritchie kind of just got fucking steamrolled in her last fight. But she did look pretty good in the LFA beforehand. So this is a super, super iffy bout. But I'm gonna ride with Tabitha Ritchie in this one. She just had more time to prepare. I want to see how good Oliveira is. I think she's definitely got a future in the sport. She's only 24 years old. She's got a 69-inch reach. That's pretty solid. That's good. She has the 7-inch reach advantage, actually. So, I mean, then again, Tabitha Ritchie's kind of built like a fucking shark. Like, the baby shark nickname is there because she's built like a she's a brick shithouse. Just like who was the first fight last week? That was built just fucking huge.
Oh, Ariane Carnlossi.
Yeah. Tabitha Ritchie's got like kind of a build like that.
No one can beat Carlossi.
Carlossi, she was getting pieced up on the feet though.
She won
though. My phone's getting blown the fuck up. Yeah, so I'm gonna take Tabitha Ritchie, but I wouldn't bet any money on it because I think she's gonna end up being a huge favorite. If anything, put money on Oliveira. She's got the 7-inch reach advantage. She's got literally absolutely nothing to lose. She's taking this fight on notice and is fighting a pretty accomplished fighter.
Yeah, that's actually pretty smart. I'm gonna agree with you on this one. Ritchie 0-1, lost her debut, tough competition. She looked terrible. Got TKO'd in the second round. She has a 5-1 record, but she does have a 6-1 custom bouts. Did you see that, Dan?
Yeah.
Like, she's got custom bouts. with like different rules, so they like technically don't count on the pro record. But she's 6-1 in those.
She's got a lot of experience. She's got more experience than her record shows.
Yeah, but then I looked at those fights though, like all of them are coming from people who were making their debuts. So it's like really it was really low level competition. Taking on Maria Oliveira, lost that contender series fight bad, TKO'd as well in the first round. Since has gone 2-0 over girls with 0 wins. Like she went on a 2-fight winning streak. Both girls had 0 wins. So like over terrible competition. Actually, 10 of her 16 wins, the fighters were either had losing records or making their debuts.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have much to say for this one, honestly. I don't want to fake.
4 against people that actually have a record.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, this fight actually might be just like I'm actually gonna give this fight like gross of the night because I don't want to see it. I don't care about this. Means nothing to me. This fight. I don't want to fake act excited for it, but it's just bad. I don't want. Yeah, I might like go do something else during this one. I do not care.
Yeah, grab your food or something during this one.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't get it at all.
I mean, if anything, this should be the first fight on the fight card. Like
exactly. I totally agree. I agree with you on that for sure. We're both actually. I'm agreeing with you on the fight too. We're both going Tabitha Ritchie. We're going to move right into the next one. Mason Jones versus David Onoma. I'm going to start with David Onoma. He's taking this fight on a week's notice after
doing that.
Yeah, Alan Patrick, veteran, withdrew. Onoma has an 8-0 record. Fights out of Glory MMA. James Krause. Has an extensive 10-0 amateur record though. Finished.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, a lot, and over good guys too, over like solid experience, like competition. He's finished 7 out of his 8 wins, mostly by KO TKO. Very green, but has a lot of upside. He's taken on Mason Jones, 0-1 and 1 no contest in the UFC, losing his debut in a pretty close fight to Mike Davis.
Yeah,
he beat
him up for that fight.
Yeah, and then he beat up Alan Patrick pretty good, and then there was an incidental eye poke.
Did that a no contest.
Yeah, so they were going to run it back for this one, but he got beat up pretty good. Former Cage Warriors double champ, pretty well rounded. First 2 UFC fights, he's got a +2 striking differential and 2 takedowns per fight at 42% accuracy. Tough not to pick him here. So yeah, I'm going to go with Mason Jones in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take Mason Jones as well. I think he finally lives up to some of the hype. He looked great in Cage Warriors before he made his UFC debut. I think he just had a little bit of the nerves in his first fight, and he looked great in the last fight against Alan Patrick before it got stopped. So David Onoma, I think this guy's got a bright future. He's got some hellacious power, and he can sub people as well. He can fight the distance as well. So, like, this guy's no joke. I think he will be. Like, he's from Uganda too, so the rise of the African fighters in the UFC is just it's glaringly obvious at this point that there's a surge of them coming in, and they are really fucking good. So I think he'll be one of those really good guys, but I think he needs some time. And out, like, I think if he goes the distance, probably loses a unanimous decision to Mason Jones, I think that helps him a lot in the long run.
Yeah, solid. But you're gonna go Mason Jones, right, Dan?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mason Jones.
Mason Jones. We're both going Mason Jones.
All right, so next we got Jung Park versus Gregory Rodriguez. Jung Park is coming off a win over the very hard to beat Tafana Chukwi. That guy is one of the scariest individuals I've fucking ever seen in my life.
The Don.
And he was able to win that fight. He secured a couple takedowns. He outlanded him by like 15 strikes. He even went for some submissions. It was like, I believe, a majority decision or something like that. I forget how the fight exactly went. I didn't watch that fight over, but I have watched his entirety.
I saw that fight. Yeah, he was Park beat Nchukwi easy.
Yeah, like it was fairly easy. This fight is definitely up there for this is a coin flip, honestly, if you look at the odds. They're both minus 110. Moving on to Gregory Rodriguez, he's coming off of an impressive win over Dusko Todorovic, which I know we both didn't pick Rodriguez in that fight.
No.
Before that, he was headlining LFA shows, which is pretty custom. Like LFA is a breeding ground into the UFC as its Cage Warriors and all that shit. But you guys know all that. If you don't, now you do. Yeah, this fight is super iffy because it's just like Rodriguez. I love how his nickname is RoboCop. That's just ridiculous. But they're like statistically, they're 47 and 48% striking accuracy. Strikes absorbed per minute, 3.17 to 3.18. Defense 58% to 65%. Like they're pretty fucking close. And they both like to take the fight to the ground. They're both solid overall fighters. I think this fight goes the distance though. Park is a tough motherfucker.
I think this is going to be a war.
Yeah, and Rodriguez is just an absolute beast. Like if you've seen what he's done to Josh Fremd and Al Matavato, after losing his Contender Series fight to Jordan Williams back in September of 2020, he bounced back real quick and got 2 wins in over the course of 2 different months. This year, which was March and May. Yeah, so that was a quick turnaround, and he won both fights. Then he made his UFC debut literally like 14 days later and beat Dusko Todorovic. So this guy could be a fucking serious guy. We already know what Jung Young Park is. He's a tough, like he can take the damage. He's not scared of nobody.
He's a good wrestler.
Yeah, and he can take the fight to the ground. Both of these guys take the fight to the ground.
Yeah.
I'm expecting just a great mixed martial arts bout out of this fight. I'm gonna lean towards Rodriguez though, just because he's got a pretty sizable height and reach, specifically height advantage on him. I think that'll help him out in this fight a lot.
Yeah, it totally could. I'm gonna start with Park, 3-1 in the UFC over huge names. Besides Nchukwu, we had the Marc-Andre Barrio, who is a stud. Has a plus 1.2 striking differential, 3 takedowns per fight at 57% accuracy, only 46% takedown defense, great cardio, close the distance, and he just like puts his weight on you, wears on his opponents. Taking on Gregory Rodriguez, former LFA middleweight champ, 1-1 in the UFC.
I forgot to mention that. I drew a blank on that.
Yeah. That win against Dusko Todorovic was totally dominant.
And we didn't see that coming.
No, he was the underdog. And it opened close, but then it slowly grew. Like actually it was pretty decent. Very well-rounded, striking, grappling. Pretty good wherever the fight goes. Both guys are good wherever the fight goes. That being said, I do like Park in this one. Not to take anything away from Rodriguez because he is good and he's here to stick around for a while. But yeah, I'm gonna side with Park in this one.
Yeah, I mean this
I just like the wrestling a little bit more, and I think that's gonna be a big part of it.
Yeah, I mean Rodriguez can wrestle too, though.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's another stay away from coin flip type of fight. So
yeah, without a doubt. Right into the next one, Nick Naggami versus Ike Villanueva.
Yeah, this is the grossest fight of the night for me because Ike Villanueva's fighting. Whenever it's fighting, it's gross.
Most of the time it ends up being just, but you know what? It's exciting because he's either most likely he's gonna get knocked out, or he's gonna get a knockout. So it's fun, whatever you like. If you're just watching it, But yeah, Ike Villanueva hasn't looked good, to say the least.
He's looked awful.
Yeah, he's 3-1 in the UFC so far, 3 knockouts. He's been knocked out 3 times. He did get a knockout though in a very close fight, but he landed a good shot. He knocked him out. He's got a minus 3.5 striking differential. So it's just wild that he takes a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Far too much to like safely bet on him. This other guy, Nick Naggami, does have a 10-1 record, and he did get a split decision win over Aleska to Kamor, but it looks like he kind of lost that fight. I don't know if you watched that one day, and it's not really something you'd want to watch.
He got outstruck and shit.
Yeah, yeah, but he did have like some control time on the ground. It was a close fight.
He's a wrestler for sure.
Yeah, he also over the course of his first 2 fights has a minus 3 striking differential as well.
I mean, Pereg Safarov beat the absolute fucking shit out of him.
And he's not that good at all. We've seen him lose like several.
Hence why this is going to be the grossest fight of the night. I see 2 guys clinching against the fence, getting very tired.
Yeah. And both guys win mostly by KO, TKO. So,
maybe somebody gets a knockout.
Yeah, but the thing is with Nick Naggami, he is more of like he gets like TKOs more on the ground instead of just like standing up. So it is kind of like a wrestler striker, because Villanueva is just gonna strike with you. So I'm gonna side like both kind of low level competition. I'm gonna side with the wrestler rather than the striker. You know what I mean?
I am too. I'm gonna take Nick in this fight.
So we're both agreeing. We're both going Nick Naggami in that one, right, Dan?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Nick Naggami as well.
The next one, Dwight Grant versus Francisco Trinaldo.
Is that me or you?
This is me. I'm going to start with Francisco, the Fountain of Youth, Trinaldo. 43 years old, 3-2 in his last 5, 16-7 UFC record. Lost his last time out to a pretty one-sided effort to Muslim Salikov, but he was riding a 3-fight winning streak over some pretty good competition like Bobby Green and John Makdessi. But before that, I have noticed that he's slowed down a bit recently, but you got to cut the man some slack. He's 43 years old, and he still has plenty left in the tank. Everyone knows how he fights. He's been around since 2012. He can strike or grapple. He does it both. Definitely prefers to strike as of more recent. Maybe that's because he's
the grappling will probably take a toll on his.
Yeah, I'm feeling like he doesn't feel as strong anymore, like in the grappling exchanges, and he is moving up to 170 in this fight. I think his last one was 170 as well, and he just got like beat up.
It's a close fight.
So he's definitely going to be at a size disadvantage. He's taking on Dwight Grant, 4-2 in the UFC, wins mostly by KO, TKO, plus 1.15 striking differential, only 36% accuracy. Doesn't really grapple too much, but has landed both takedowns he's attempted in the UFC. 71% takedown defense to go along with it. Very heavy hands. He's gotten knocked down in half of his UFC fights. And he's going to have a 6-inch reach advantage. He's the far bigger fighter, and it's tough just not to pick him in this one. Trinaldo just has a lot of stuff going against him. So I'm going to go with Dwight Grant in this one.
I am too. Even though Dwight Grant's like 37, 38 himself, at least he's not 43 years old, it's really hard to take guys that are on the plus side of 40. And when you're getting up to like Tom Brady, 43, 44, it's like, it becomes nearly like, I can't, like, it's just something that I can't do.
Yeah.
Maybe y'all can, but I can't. Like, even his fight against Jai Herbert, I picked against him. I've been picking against him every fight. Like, I don't like it. I think he's done enough in the sport. He's accomplished. I wouldn't say he's a legend, but he's well known in the MMA community. Everybody respects him. Everybody knows he can fucking knock you the fuck out or choke you the fuck out. So I don't think he's got much left to prove. I think Dwight Grant gets the win in this one.
Yeah, Dan, I totally agree. And we're both agreeing. We're both going Dwight Grant. We're gonna move right into the next one. Alex Caceres for Sungwoo Choi.
All right, yeah. So we got Bruce Leeroy, who is coming off of a 4-fight winning streak over Steven Peterson, Chase Hooper, Austin Springer, and Kevin Kroom. He
Stud.
was yeah, he's an absolute stud. Before
Stud.
that, record was like only like 14 and 11, 14 and 12 or something like that. Like, so
I remember though, he was one of the youngest members in the Ultimate Fighter history.
he was, and he's
Yeah.
just had his career in just the UFC.
Yeah, exactly. He's only 33.
Yeah. We were talking about this fight earlier. At first I was with Connor, but then I had to kind of look away, like really look at it. In his last 3 fights, Sungwoo Choi has looked phenomenal, beating Suman Mkhitaryan, Yusuf Zalal, and Julian Arosa, who he fucking knocked the fuck out. And like I didn't see, I took Arosa in that fight. Like I was sleeping on Choi. So don't sleep on Sungwoo Choi. He can definitely hit pretty fucking hard, and he's fairly well rounded himself, you know.
Yeah.
He averages the takedown a fight, you know, like he's not afraid to take you down. He'll strike with you, he'll knock you down, you know, he's definitely got some power in his hands. Alex Caceres is very, you know, like the Bruce Leeroy name lives up to the mantle, you know. He's like, he throws a lot of fugazi type of shit out there, but it's at the same time, it's like he's fighting with like water, you know, like
No, it's
fights very fluidly.
It's poetry.
Yeah. So I'm gonna lean towards Sungwoo Choi in this fight. He's 6 feet tall compared to 5'10" on Alex Caceres. I think he's a little more beefy. I think he's stronger. And I think I think this goes to a decision where in the 3rd round, where it's like a 1-1 type of fight, and then he takes it to the ground for like half of the 2nd round after it's been like a close 3rd round.
See,
I'm literally predicting the exact fight.
I totally, like, I see when I saw this fight, I was like, oh, I don't know, Sungwoo Choi, because you just think Alex Caceres, you know, he's like a veteran, but you know, he's got a lot of things going for him in this fight, and I actually, when I look at this fight, I see Alex Caceres winning. He's
I don't blame you.
He's quietly made that 4-fight winning streak, and he's been a UFC veteran longer than Francisco Trinaldo. He's been in here since 2011. Francisco Trinaldo was 2012 and still only 33 years old. His striking's looked amazing recently too. A 1.3 striking differential at 50% accuracy. Doesn't have too much power, but just touches, outpoints his opponents. He's just a gamer too. Like, he just knows how to win. He knows what to do to win. That's what he loves. He just wants to go out there and win. He's taken on Sungwoo Choi, 3-2 in his last 5, 3-fight winning streak. Thrown to the wolves when he started the UFC. Bounced back good though. He has a plus 0.8 striking differential, 41% accuracy, 1 takedown per fight, 57% accuracy, 66% takedown defense. And right now he's sitting at a minus 275. That being said, Caceres has just the IQ, the volume, the experience. I think he's got a lot of stuff going for him. And I just see him like pointing out a decision victory in this one.
Yeah, I mean, with the odds,
not take that.
It's solid to take, like, you know, that 125 on him, you know, like, it's not bad.
It's very, very good odds for him. And I don't see why it's that skewed, but I do really like Alex Caceres in this one.
Yeah, it should be closer in my opinion. But
yeah, very close.
He's coming off of that phenomenal performance, which is why he got that line.
Exactly. But we're disagreeing. I'm going Caceres. Dan's going Choi. We're gonna move right into the next one.
Jessica Face Tats, aka Jessie Jess. I'm a fan of hers. She got that big finish over Sarah Alpar in her last fight, I remember, and I was pretty hyped for that fight. For her. Before that, she was on a 2-fight losing streak to Penny Kianza and Jessica I, who are both absolute studs. So they're not Jessica I. Jessica I isn't a stud anymore, but that 2018 she was kind of the shit. But yeah, she's fighting Jocelyn Edwards in this fight. May I mention real quick, to go on with Jessica Rose Clark, if you've ever seen that clip of that guy, his face covered in tattoos, and up to that guy, the Asian fighter's face, and then gets knocked out. That was her ex, and he beat the shit out of her, and he's in jail right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that guy beat the shit. She's dealt with domestic abuse, so hearts out to her. I want her to win this fight, and I do think she's gonna win this fight, honestly. Jocelyn Edwards, she fought Carol Rosa in her last fight, and Carol Rosa is
a stud.
Absolutely, like no doubt about it, just an absolute stud. Jessica Rose Clark is a bit of a step down in competition. I'll say that, but at the same time, I think she's super experienced in the UFC. She's fought like veterans, like she's fought. I wouldn't even call her a veteran. Sarah Kaufman's a pioneer for women's MMA. She's beaten Beck Rawlings, Paige Van Zandt, Sarah Alpar just in the last couple of years. She hasn't been super active, but I'm happy to see her back, and I think she gets the dub in this fight against Jocelyn Edwards. Jocelyn Edwards just kind of got beat up in her last fight, honestly.
And before that, she beat Wu Yanan, and it's like Wu Yanan's 1-3 in the UFC. She hasn't really looked that great, so it's not like a huge.
Not that bad though.
Yeah, it's just Jessica Rose Clark has fought like solid competition.
Yeah.
And both girls are very similar. I mean, Edwards has a +3 in striking reach, not differential. She's got a 3-inch reach advantage. And I do kind of see it staying on the fight. I don't know about you. Jessica Rose Clark will probably want to close the distance a little bit. She does get a takedown a fight at 55% accuracy.
Yeah, I think that's something that Jocelyn Edwards is going to struggle with.
Yeah, that's the difference maker here because, yeah, Jocelyn Edwards, solid +0.4 striking differential, 53% accuracy. All right. And then she has 16% takedown accuracy and 37% takedown defense. Yeah, she's just been taken down at will. So, yeah, Jessica Rose Clark is the far more well-rounded mixed martial artist in this one. So I'm going to go with her.
+10 face tats.
Yeah, she's scary.
Yeah.
She scares me. So I'm going to go with her. I'm going to go with Jessica Rose Clark. So is Dan. We're going to move right into the next one. Grant Dawson versus Ricky Glenn. I'm going to start with Grant Dawson in this one. He's undefeated in the UFC. He has 6 wins, and 4 of them by finish, 3 by sub. He has a +1.3 striking differential, 48% accuracy, 3.5 takedowns per fight at 34% accuracy, 1.6 submission averages. Beaten some solid guys so far, Julian Erosa, Derek Minor. He's going to be taking on Ricky Glenn. What'd you say?
Leonardo Santos as well.
Leonardo Santos. He's going to be taking on Ricky Glenn in this one, who is 4-3 in the UFC. 3-2 in his last 5.
He hasn't been very active.
He hasn't been active. And if you look at those split decision, he's got 2 split decision wins. Like one of those fights, I'm pretty sure that Dennis Bermudez fight, he lost that fight.
Yeah, I agree. I remember that from 28. Yeah.
And the guys he beat, Dennis Bermudez, that was a robbery. And he was on a huge skid at the time. Joaquim Silva, not like the guys he beats is not that solid competition. He does have a win over Gavin Tucker, and he just beat him up. But that is like the only outlier in this. Otherwise, I just see Grant Dawson kind of just better wherever the fight goes, smarter. he's big for the division too. It's 145. He's a solid dude.
Yeah, he's big.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing to take away from Ricky Glenn because he's pretty good himself, but just like I said in the last one, Grant Dawson is far more well-rounded. Ricky Gunn is just mostly stand-up, you know.
Um, this is, are you done?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, this is gonna be my lock of the night. I got Grant Dawson all day in this fight. Ricky Glenn is no slouch at all, but Grant Dawson, I think this kid's a fucking stud.
Yes.
I want to see how he does when he faces. I mean, he's in the lightweight division, so I don't know if he can make it all the way to the top. But like, this guy's just an absolute fucking stud. He, like we said, he's undefeated in the UFC. He's just basically dominated everybody that the UFC's put in front of him. He's gotten 2 performance bonuses as well.
Yeah, 4 finishes.
Yeah, against that fight, but in the fight against Leonardo Santos, he made that was the fight where he knocked him out with 1 second left when he was losing the fight.
Yeah, I think Santos won the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, and then he came out and finished him with 1 second left.
Yeah, Dawson wasn't landing he couldn't get the takedowns in that one going.
Yeah, I think this will be a little different. I think he'll be able to land the takedowns. Leonardo Santos is no fucking joke.
Well, you know what? Let me just say this: Leonardo Santos has a 90% takedown defense, and he's fought in the UFC for 10 fights. So that's
saying a lot.
Overall, that's saying a lot.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take Grant Dawson. He'll be my lock.
Nice.
Actually,
what?
I'm gonna make the main event my lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my lock. He had a sketchy last outing.
Yeah, you never know. But we're both agreeing. We're both going Grant Dawson. We both really like Grant Dawson in that one. We're gonna move right into the next one, the main event: Paulo Costa versus Marvin Vettori.
All right, I'm gonna make this short. I'm gonna make this simple because I feel like we've been dragging a couple of these. If you look at what Marvin Vettori does well, he has the basics and I would say he's an average striker, decent wrestling, and a solid ground game. He's a solid all-around fighter. Paulo Costa I think he can. Overall in this fight, he's got to avoid the takedowns because I think he's just going to move forward and throw that patented pressure he's got, and he's got fucking power for days. He definitely got humbled in his last fight where Israel literally fucked his ass after he knocked him out.
Yeah, that was embarrassing, man.
It was hilarious. Definitely hilarious.
He didn't wait, let me just say this. He didn't actually fuck his ass.
He humped him.
Yeah, okay. He said he literally fucked his ass, meaning like he actually he fucked his ass, but he didn't actually fuck his ass.
No, but he humped his ass.
There we go.
Yeah, like that dog mentality. That's why Izzy's at the top. Paulo Costa had that amazing fight with Yoel Romero. That fight was so fucking close.
Mm.
And then if you put up Yoel Romero against Marvin Vettori, like, I got Yoel in that fucking all day. I'm sorry. I don't care how fucking old he is. He's the exception. So I think Paulo Costa is going to come back. He wants that rematch with Adesanya because he did literally nothing in that fight except get picked apart, kicked in the head, and knocked out. So I'm going to take Paulo Costa, and I think he could get a finish in this fight.
Yeah, he's an underdog right now, and it's only growing. I've been checking it the last couple of days. It's just getting bigger. So I'm just going to wait till like the last possible minute, but I'm totally agreeing with you on this one, Dan. And, the last 2 fights, I went with like the more well-rounded fighter, This fight, Paulo Costa is not the more well-rounded fighter. Marvin Vettori is far more well-rounded. He's got 2.2 takedowns per fight at 47% accuracy. He also has a plus +0.8 striking differential, 43% accuracy. But Paulo Costa, I think people have short-term memory a little bit because we've seen Marvin Vettori fight several times. He's fought 2 times in 2021 alone, and Paulo Costa hasn't fought since 2020. So I think people get like a little bit of short-term memory and just forget how good Paulo Costa's striking actually is. Averages 7 strikes per minute, 57% accuracy, 80% takedown defense. He's actually only been taken down 3 times in his whole career by 2 separate opponents, one early on in 2017 and then one by Yoel Romero, which you can't blame him for. But I totally agree with you, Dan.
Olympics.
Yeah, and he's still that good. I know, like before Yoel Romero got cut from the UFC, he was on a 3-fight losing streak. But that's just people found out to like run away from him because otherwise you're gonna lose. Like he was still 40 something years old and like a total threat to the entire
He had no neck.
top 10.
He has no neck.
No, it helps. He can't get knocked out that way.
Exactly. He can get wobbled, but not knocked out.
Never. Yeah, but dude, I love Paulo Costa in this one. His striking.
I think stylistically he matches up pretty well against Vettori. I don't know why Vettori's a favorite.
I know, dude. Striker grappler. You know, even though Vettori, you know, he's not a good striker. You know, he has some striking and he's gotten good at it because he's got like powerful hands, but he's not like a good.
I don't think he's got powerful hands.
You don't think he's got power? I think that's what
I don't think he's got knockout power.
I think that's what he based his striking on. Like he's going to try to hit you as hard as possible, but he's not going to hit you a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like Paulo Costa is just like he's putting on a clinic. 13-1 record, only lost.
I just hate Marvin Vettori with a passion at this point. He took shots at Paul Felder. He thought he won that Adesanya fight, and he's just cringe as fuck.
Yeah.
And he's gonna lose this one too.
Although I will say this, Vettori did have a better outing against Adesanya than Costa did.
But he grabbed his back for 4 seconds, and then Adesanya fucking spun him right around and got in his guard, and then was in his guard.
What you're talking about, the Vettori fight?
Yeah.
Vettori ended up with Vettori ended up with 7 minutes of control time in that fight, 4 takedowns.
Yeah, but Adesanya got right back up like almost every single time.
I think he was taken down for a minute, and yeah, I'm looking at it right now. He was taken down in a minute basically in every single round, except for the last round. He's taken down 2 minutes. But you know, he still took him down.
Control time against the cage, or is that on the ground?
This is just control time in general.
Okay, so that could be against the cage as well.
That's true. One of them was against round 2 was against the cage. The other 4 rounds he was taken down 1 time, but he wasn't taken down in the second round.
Yeah, like Izzy's got some solid takedown defense, and I think Paulo Costa is way bigger than Izzy. And
he can stuff those takedowns of Vettori's for sure.
Yeah, it's just a matter of mental. Like, it just did Izzy break him? No, because he seemed pretty fucking unbeatable before he fought Izzy, and then Izzy fucking destroyed him.
He did, but you know, it was his first career loss. You know. Yeah, it's gonna be a big deal for him.
Yeah. Either way, we're both riding with Borrachinha.
Solid underdog.
Skinny Claw. Skinny Claw.
I didn't know you spoke Spanish.
Steroid Claw.
Oh. All right, yeah, we're out of here.
He's definitely used steroids.
Who hasn't?
I don't think Izzy has.
Yeah.